this whole area should be a national park. We don't believe we're trespassing. We're quite prepared to be arrested if necessary.
The Franklin River is nothing to a brown bleach-ridden ditch.
Back in the Franklin time, 6,000 people came to that protest. 1,500 were arrested, 500 went to jail. I run into those people quite often now and they say it's the best thing they did in their life, or they're so glad they did that and that the Franklin's running free to the sea. Under current legislation, the Franklin would be dammed and just a dead moat. The High Court has upheld peaceful protest as part of our democracy, but governments are putting penalties on it which make it prohibitive. But that's what's been brought in to enable the exploiters to dam, mine, log, fish, four-wheel drive through sensitive parts of the Australian environment and indeed its Aboriginal heritage.
I think it's highly unlikely that we would see decisions made today such as we had in the past, whether it was Franklin Dam, whether it was Kakadu, whether it was the Daintree rainforest, for two reasons. One, the political will, and secondly, the capacity of environment ministers in Conservative governments to exercise proper duty of care over the environment. Both of those things are now absent. We've hit rock bottom. And it's terrible because it's never been a more serious time to get stuck into looking after our environment.
If the National Environment Laws actually lived up to their name, the Environment Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act, that would be a great outcome because I think most Australians want to see the environment protected and biodiversity conserved. The primary problem with the laws is they do neither of those things. The nature of the EPBC Act means that the Environment Minister, as a sort of proxy decision maker or adjudicator, has to stand back and actually can't be part of the public debate. Now we think that's crazy.
At the moment, there's a push to silence environmental charities. I think this is very dangerous because in a democracy, we have multiple voices. And they provide checks and balances. These laws are being pushed by the mining industry. No politician wakes up and says, we're going to screw over the charities. They don't think that way. They love charities. Now, the mining industry already has huge amounts of money. They already have political accessibility. Now they're trying to take away the one thing that the people have, the right to come together as a group to protest and to speak.
You know, one of the reasons why the Places You Love Alliance was formed and that the leadership of the environmental movement has come together so strongly was partly in reaction to just the extreme hostility and the extreme attack on the existing laws by the federal government, first led by obviously Tony Abbott and then carried through by Malcolm Turnbull.
Well, good morning.
This was a shock, and I think it was a shock to most Australians to think that we'd really want to turn back the clock 40 years, that we would want to delist World Heritage Areas, that we'd want to log old growth forests.
Here in Australia, we have a free and open democracy, and we either use that to protect this environment or we lose it. And nobody will be more culpable than Australians if that happens in this century when we know what the threats to the environment for our grandkids are.